February 3rd at the Vinyl Lounge, the Weird Sisters are playing their record release show for their new record, Who Are the Weird Sisters. Doors are at 8, but don't be late. We got Ken Sable and David Bermudez each doing a DJ set, spinning some funky-ass grooves that'll have even the stiffest booties bumping. The Real Tom is going to be doing an analog visual extravaganza. Nice and sexy, just the way we like it. 18 plus, cause no homies left behind. Do you never buy tickets online? The Weird Sisters don't either. But if you do this time, a free gift awaits. Just show the door guy and he'll take care of the rest. $15 in advance, $20 day of the show. I'll see you there, unless you're square. Giuliana, Mignone, and Rose Savage are here from Vern. What's up, ladies? How are ya?
Fabulous.
Peachy.
Happy to be here.
Hell yeah.
That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah, you're seeing kind of a new iteration of the setup. We've, as you can tell, we have very high-tech professional standards.
It's great. As long as there's no live animals, we're good because, I have allergies.
Oh, you have allergies?
To cats, yeah.
Oh, shit. Do you hate cats? Are you one of those people?
I don't hate cats.
She hates cats.
No,
yeah.
I
can
She
tell.
absolutely
I
hates
can
cats.
just
They don't
smell
like
it
me.
on you. Is it that they don't like you or you don't like them?
I think they can tell that they make me itchy, so then I'm just kind of like a weirdo apprehensive around them, and then they're like, cats read energy.
They do.
You
So
think cats got a vendetta against you?
No, I think that they can just tell that I'm weird around them, so they just get weird around me. But it's funny because the lady that we went to in the crystal shop was like, "Oh, you definitely have cat energy."
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
true.
"Okay, lady."
I could agree with that.
Feline energy.
Yeah, you have cat energy.
Well,
for
I am
sure.
a Leo.
I don't know what that means.
It's the lion,
It's the
know.
zodiac astrology.
Yeah, you know. Come on, man.
I know a little bit. I don't know a lot about
When's your
astrology.
birthday?
Yeah, when's your birthday?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
November.
Scorpio! You are such a Scorpio.
You know what?
Terrible.
Everybody always says that.
You are.
And by always, I mean women.
That's what a Scorpio man would say.
That was this man just said.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into astrology at all. It's not that I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. There's just some things that aren't for me, you know?
Have you tried it?
How do you try astrology?
Talk to someone like Rose who actually knows stuff and isn't Googling on her phone every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So break it down.
Okay, so in astrology, you have a birth chart. So you have different planets in your birth chart that resonate with a different sign based on when you were born. And each of those planets have an aspect on your life depending on what sign that planet is in. So it's not just I was born on May 25th, that makes me a Gemini. There's other aspects in your chart that pan out your life for you in a way. And tell you, how you approach certain things, how you deal with conflict, how you deal with mystery or mysterious situations or whatever the fuck it may be. But I don't know, there's a whole science to it. I could go on.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely interested.
So, I guess to break it down to the skeptics, I would say, because my brain likes to find a reason. It's kind of like how if you have something like physics, you have certain pieces in certain areas which will give you a certain amount of force, right? The concept of astrology in that regard is that that energy would be force. So where your planets are aligned during your birth or, certain times in your life, that would contribute to the amount of force that's going on. Does that make sense, that analogy?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Cool.
Yeah.
I actually had a really hard time in AP Physics, so that's not a reputable
I wasn't smart enough for AP
resource.
Physics. I was just in regular science. So
Regular science?
I never learned that. No, I wasn't smart enough.
I wasn't smart enough
I
either.
wasn't as fast as the other kids.
My teacher also did not think I was smart enough to be in AP Physics, and he was right. No, honors physics, not AP. I wasn't that smart, just honors physics. And I didn't.
I was a bad student.
Yeah, but
I was terrible too.
So are most people who are in the arts. I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
I never fucking
really liked school. It wasn't for me. I was just so ready to be like an adult, you know, and be out in the world.
Did
Yeah,
you come out of the
same.
womb with like a tie on?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I was honestly, I was very ready to be just free, you know. I mean, you don't really know what it's going to be like at that age, but I was ready to just do my own thing. I didn't like school at all. I skipped school a bunch.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I never skipped
All
school.
the time.
I got in trouble for it a bunch. They were always like, you didn't come to school today. I had to make up, like, my senior year, I missed over half my days.
Wow, really?
I was really depressed though, so that contributed to it. But it got to be like the last week of the year, and they were sat me down, like I was failing all my classes, and they said, you know, if you don't do this assignment, you're not gonna graduate. And I called them on their bluff.
That's not shocking to me.
I was like, nope, that's not the case. You guys don't want me here. You're just trying to get me to do this.
You will walk me.
Yeah. And then,
I mean,
you know,
10.
Right.
then I was just a person out in the world. And I discovered marijuana. I smoked a lot of weed for a couple of years.
Well, in Maine, they have a
That's
lot
how
of
it
weed.
goes sometimes.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of weed.
Wait, you're
in
from Maine?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Northeastern sandwich, baby.
Wow. Have you ever met Stephen King?
No, you know what? That's honestly a fair question. So I never met Stephen King, but I used to live in the town that he spent his childhood in.
Oh,
Really?
Sick.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's in Durham, Maine. It's out in the country.
Yeah.
It's
As
there's
it is.
one. Yeah, that's very true. There's one gas station in that town. There's no stoplights.
Wow.
It's like that
Tennessee
kind of
must feel
place.
kind of familiar. I tell people all the time, like, we have, like, Southerners up north, and they're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, the further north you go,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
further south you get. I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't understand. Just because somebody talks with a Canadian accent doesn't mean that that lumberjack is not the same as your cattle farmer down here in Tennessee.
It's very
It is
true.
a different breed, but it is the same, like,
It's just
different.
rednecks in the snow.
Yeah,
you,
pretty much.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
It's rednecks in the snow.
Yeah,
Silly.
So the town that I lived in, Durham, Maine, is where Stephen King is from, where he spent his childhood. He has his house like up in Bangor. Have you ever
Say
seen
Bangor, yeah.
pictures of his house before?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's for no one who's seen it, who's listening. It's exactly like you'd imagine Stephen King's house to be.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very spooky, but
Library-esque. Is it like classic New England, like
Yeah.
Victorian with the gabled roof and the shutters and like
Oh,
all
Yeah.
that, and small paint glass.
yeah, and then there's like bats on the fence.
I love that.
Yeah, but Stephen King, honestly, here's the fucking thing about Stephen King. Okay, the state, he doesn't actually live in Maine. He claims his residence in Florida for tax purposes.
That's really smart.
Interesting.
No, it's smart. It's like if you
Are
know
taxes
anything
more in
about
Maine?
New England,
It's
is
horrible.
That
Yeah.
makes sense then. There you
Yeah,
go. There's your
no,
answer.
Florida and like Delaware and
Tennessee,
Tennessee, Texas, all those states are a little bit more tax friendly. But you know, I'm just an artist. What do I know about small business? So
Yeah.
on that, we'll put the
Well, the
Clap.
move is honestly when you go to get a car or something like that in New England, you go to New Hampshire. So you don't
live
have
for
to,
your die, baby.
Yeah,
Tax
yeah,
free.
yeah.
Tax free. Yeah. So for all you
No
who are
sales
listening,
tax.
yeah, New Hampshire has no sales tax. So when we were kids and it would be like a special occasion, Mom would take us up to the outlets, because if you go to the outlets in New Hampshire, you can get your designer bag or your Levi jeans, and you don't pay tax on them.
Oh, that's sick.
And in New Hampshire, they don't do tax on liquor. So if you want to drink,
They
you
have
go
that,
to the
yeah.
big warehouse, you have a party, and you get fireworks in New Hampshire because they're illegal in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they're illegal in Maine too.
No, really?
I'm not sure. I just know that New Hampshire has a bunch of fun stuff. Basically, it's like when you drive through the state on both sides of the interstate, they have like liquor stores
Yeah.
that you can stop and go
You're
to.
talking about the ones on like
Yeah.
the main
Yeah,
freeway,
the
like when you're about to
highway.
hit Kangamangas, you're going straight to hit it, and then it's on one side, the exit between Mass and New Hampshire, and then they have another one where you're about to hit, I believe, the Vermont
And
way.
it's
Yeah.
over by Portsmouth as
It's-
well.
Yes. Yep.
So, but yeah, that's
Yep, and it's literally Tennessee up north. It's live free or die. It is, I believe it's a stand your ground state as well.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, New Hampshire is like it's an interesting state.
I could never live in New England again though.
I don't think I could live up there. I'd be cool with having like a condo up there or something, but not living up there. Mainly because I don't want to shovel snow like 6 to 8 months out of the year.
Yeah, it's
6 to 8. Well, you're up in Maine. Yeah.
If you get up real high,
Yeah, well, where he's
You're gonna
from,
be shoveling.
yeah, you are gonna be doing that.
yeah. I mean, I had a flashback whenever it snowed here. I kind of like it whenever it snows here though.
I do not want to talk about what happened last week. I was cabin fever. Like, we were gonna have a shining moment at my house because,
Really?
yeah, my street was a luge. They didn't salt, so it was just an ice slick, and my boyfriend tried to pull out of the driveway, and we literally like went and like right into our neighbor's yard, and
Oh,
like
God.
we had to have AAA come and pull the car out.
And then did you say fuck that? We're not leaving.
Yeah, because my car got broken into the week before, so it was in the shop. So we were literally like shining out here. Going back to
Yeah.
Stephen King, a little callback. We were stuck in the snow, but the worst we did was build Legos and watch Star Wars. So like,
Well,
you
see, that to me is productive. So you turned a bad situation into a productive
it
situation.
was great. We watched episodes 1 through 6 and Rogue One for the first time. I'd never seen Star Wars my entire life. I had no spoilers, like at all. So it's kind of cool. Like he got to show me Lord of the Rings a year ago for the first time, and then we watched Star Wars this time. So yes.
I like Revenge of
Lovely.
the Sith. That's my favorite
That's-
Star Wars. That's when
That's
Anakin
3.
becomes Vader.
Yeah, that's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, I literally was talking about this last night. My favorite's 5, 1, 6, 4, 2, 3. I don't really care for Revenge of the Sith as much because it's sad, and until the last 20 minutes of the film, it's kind of boring.
I disagree entirely.
I know.
And
Revenge of the
Wesley,
Sith
my
is
friend
so-
Wesley said the same thing.
Well, I don't know. Revenge of the Sith is so like written so perfectly to me. I don't.
Yeah, well, it's the culmination of what he was trying to do
Mm-hmm.
with that trilogy.
George
'Cause it-
Lucas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about the politics of the situation. It's about politics falling apart,
Mm-hmm.
someone basically doing a hostile takeover,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and maneuvering. And it's like if you rewatch episode 1 and episode 2, you can see all of Palpatine's moves, like even setting up the clone army.
Yep.
That was so he could build the Empire.
So you'll appreciate this, Tommy, our bandmate, because there's 5 of us and we're all good friends, and I think 4 out of the 5 of us now are Star Wars nerds because I do love it. I was hesitant for years, but I texted and I was like, hey T, like Greg finally got me to watch Star Wars, and he's like, oh my god, that's awesome. What are you starting with? I'm like 1 through blah blah blah. He goes, that's like watching closed cable television. You're just basically watching local government for 4 hours. He's like, why did he start you that way? I was like, because if you met me, if I got started on 4, I'd be like, who's that? Why is that happening? I don't understand. I don't
Honestly,
understand.
I think he did it the right way.
He did. No, he called like 3 of his friends, like his bandmates. He was like, all right, Dave, like which one should we start with? All right, Nick, Wesley, what do you think? And they were all like, go 1 through 6, because like she'll be so confused if you drop her right in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, have you watched Obi-Wan?
No, I haven't. I don't think so.
It's pretty good.
I haven't either, and I don't want spoilers, and because
I won't say anything.
Qui-Gon's in that, right?
No,
Because he's my favorite character of the whole series.
I'm not gonna say.
You know that?
That's all I'll say.
He's my favorite, Taylor.
Qui-Gon is.
Yes, absolutely amazing, immaculate writing.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is when him and Obi-Wan fight Darth Maul. That seals Anakin's fate.
I know, if he was his, they say, because I went into a whole, like, I got fixated, they say if he was his master, he would not have turned. But, another theory says, if he didn't turn, the rebels wouldn't have been able to take back the Empire, because the only reason they were able to do it is because Darth Vader allowed them to, so he's technically a good guy.
Yeah. You should also watch the Andor show. So you said you watched Rogue One, right?
Yeah,
and
we did.
So Cassian Andor,
Yeah.
who's in Rogue One.
Andor, the captain,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Cassian,
So, that is basically a prequel series to Rogue One, and it's all about like why the rebellion. It's the start of the rebellion.
It doesn't go back into, oh my god, I can't remember, not, Palpatine kills him in 3, I believe. He was a Jedi.
Mace Windu.
No. no, not Windu. He turned bad.
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku. Thank you. Yep.
No, he's not. He's not in it. So this is set after Episode 3, before Rogue before Rogue One.
Sorry. Okay, I'm thinking of the other one because that one's animated as well, right?
No. So Andor
Okay,
is live
totally
action.
off.
Yeah, it's the least Star Wars thing that exists. It's really like a political thriller.
Interesting.
It's pretty dark.
Is it good?
It's really fucking good.
I don't think we're gonna start with The Mandalorian because my husband is in The Mandalorian, so.
Pedro Pascal.
Yes, that's my husband. I love him so much. He doesn't know we're actually married, but it's, we have a very loving
Bill
relationship.
Burr
like
is in
Greg
The
now?
Mandalorian.
But really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like famous for hating on Star Wars
That's funny.
and making fun of like nerds and all
Yeah.
that shit. But he ended up being in The Mandalorian.
But
He's
here
awesome
he is.
in The Mandalorian. He's
Yeah.
great in it.
Who is he in?
So he just plays like he was like a former Imperial soldier, and now he's just basically like a scumbag.
He played himself.
Yeah. So,
Basically.
but my whole thing is that what I love about it is I just imagine there's an entire planet out in the Star Wars universe that's just like Boston.
Can
It's
you
just-
imagine?
Well, you know, Fallout, like the whole thing, like the whole like city that like they like the Grand City is Fenway.
Oh really?
Did you
Oh
know
shit!
that?
I
You
didn't
never
know
play
that.
those games?
I don't play.
Danny,
video
do you play
games.
Fallout?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, like Boston's whole thing. My boyfriend has taught me so much about this stuff. Girl, a year ago, like, when we be even having this conversation,
know.
I'd be like, that is so nerdy. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. You gave it a chance.
I
though.
did. And
That's
it's
what matters.
all really, really interesting. Like, I used to kind of be like Bill Burr, like, used to be like a hater. And I'd be like, oh, that's so stupid.
Wait,
and
hold on
corny.
a second. Giuliana, is it a hater?
Shut up.
Shocking.
I'm not a hater. I'm just really strongly opinionated. No, but I used to be kind of a hater. I was like, this is so dumb. Like, you guys are adults. Like, why are you watching this? Like, it's so well done, though. Like,
Yeah.
that, Lord of the Rings, like, even Fallout with all the lore, like, all this stuff is well done. I mean, my boyfriend, he writes books as well. Like, he's starting to write a series. So, he likes anything that has a really strong storyline. So, all the stuff he's introduced me to has just been brilliantly followed through. And I think that's why I really like it.
Have you watched The Hobbit?
No, I've been told they're a disgrace.
Honestly, I like The Hobbit better than I like Lord of the Rings.
That's a really strong take
Yeah.
for anyone who's like in that world, and also those movies are perfect. So I don't know.
I think they're too fucking long, honestly.
No,
I've
I
never
know,
been
no,
The
over
books
the
are
Rings.
longer though. I had to read the Lord of the Ring books for like an English assignment that I had
Did
back
you
in
have to
high
read The
school.
Hobbit?
No, not The Hobbit. I read 1 through 3, and it took like 5 pages to describe a minute.
Yeah, Tolkien's very
I
wordy.
was like, what in the fuck, dude? And like, I forgot what the hell was happening. Like when I was reading it halfway, and I'm like, oh, we're not even 30 seconds of the way through this scene. Like in this book, like I got 3 more pages to go. Like it's a very detailed
Yeah.
book.
Did you ever read them?
No.
No, they say the same thing about Twilight too.
I
They
never
say-
read the Twilight books. Actually,
I
I'm gonna
did.
come
Oh
in here
my
and
God,
say
of course you did.
I never did.
W-
I never did because I never liked the fandom behind it. I guess
Vampire
All-
fucking.
I just
love
couldn't do it.
Twilight.
So you're team Edward all the way, right?
Don't look at me like that. How'd you know?
I could just tell.
Okay, Twilight got really popular. I'm 25. Twilight got really popular when I was like cresting into middle school. Wasn't allowed to watch I wasn't allowed to read Breaking Dawn. I read 1 through 3, and my mom was reading them with me because she also loves those type of books. And she's like, "You're not reading Breaking Dawn." And I was like, "Okay."
Was it too erotic?
I had a promiscuous friend. Yes, that's why. She's like, "It's way too erotic. There's like sex in this one. It's totally different." So I had a promiscuous friend in middle school, and she let me borrow it, and I would read it during
In secret?
in secret at school. That's about the extent of the rebellion
That's
I did as a
hilarious.
child. I fucking love those movies. But people go back to the point. People say Stephanie Meyer's way too descriptive because if you read the books, they're like, and Edward and his like naked chest, and he's drizzling in the sun like 1,000 diamonds.
Well, how like spicy do those books get? Do they actually?
No, they're just like obsessive. Like it's literally like reading a 15-year-old girl's journal,
I
and
know.
like she's basically just like, today I saw Edward and he just looked at me and it's just like our tension. Like it's literally that for 4 books, and then she gets with him and he's like, it's like basically like he's like a Christian almost. He's like, we can't do this, Bella. I'll kill you if we have sex. So it's just like a lot of tension building the whole time.
Oh God.
I
Just
wouldn't be
shoot
into it.
me now.
No, it was time and place for Twilight.
Those soundtracks were pretty bumping though.
Dude,
Yeah, I heard the soundtracks are good. I mean, I watched the movies, and the movies are like, they are what they are, but I never read the books, because I think I tried to read one of the books, and I was like, I can't do this.
No,
This
you
is
were
too
so
much.
much cooler than me as a teenager. You were like beating people up and breaking rules, and I was sitting alone at the windowsill in my school eating lunch, and you were like, what's a lunch? I'm out. Like, I'm out of here.
Gonna expose me like that.
I think you should tell a story about your ear.
Oh God.
It's so badass.
I'm missing a piece of my ear.
Why? How?
Hold on. First, I gotta show you. I don't even remember which ear it is, but do you see? Right
Oh
here?
shit! Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So I was 14. I was in 9th grade, and this girl had a crush on me. See, this goes back to what we were talking about. Like, women hit on me a lot, and I'm not lesbian, and so I have to like respectfully be like, I'm sorry, you're a very gorgeous woman, but I don't think I could have sex with you ever. So like, you know, I support it and all. But anyways, back to the story. I was in high school. This girl had a crush on me. I was like, no girl, sorry, I don't swing that way. And she got upset, and she went on this like MySpace tirade, and it's funny, it was like back when MySpace was going
Yeah.
on, so like this is how old this entire situation
You're
was.
aging yourself.
I
Rose is
know.
actually 22.
I know, yeah, 22 and holding forever. But she was talking shit on MySpace, so I was just like, yeah, bitch, what it is, like, I'll fuck you up, like, you know, and she was just like, meet me in the cafeteria. I was like, word. So I like, skipped my entire 3rd block just so I could find her in the cafeteria. And as soon as she saw me, like...
How long were you waiting there? Wasn't it like hours?
It was a while, because the way that our school did lunches at the time, it was just like, you had 3rd period, and then like first lunch would go, and then 2nd lunch would go, and then 3rd lunch, and then 4th lunch, like within 3rd period.
She
No,
was
no one
staking
stopped
this
you?
out.
No one stopped me. I skipped 3rd period just so I could find her, because
She
my
was
lunch was
scary.
1st lunch, and hers was 4th, so I was like, I'm gonna be waiting for this bitch for a long time, but I'm gonna get her. So like, I found her. She was standing in front of the trophy case. I walked up to her, and then she like pushed me, and then she ran off, and I was really pissed off, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck is your problem? And then she like ran at me, and we started like fighting, and like she grabbed my hair, and I remember I just started like swinging up, and it took like 5 people / teachers to like, you know, pull us off of each other. It was really bad. And then I felt like a warmth on my shoulder, and it was blood, and my earring was gone, and that's what happened.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Do you want to know how I learned about this?
How?
We're driving in the car to a house show down like in BFE, like down in Columbia. And I'm like, I never noticed that piercing where it's like, did you get a piece of your ear cut off? Like, that's like pretty like cool. Like, that's hard. And she's like, nah, when I was like 14, a girl ripped it out of my ear because like she tried to step up to me and I beat her up. That was a different time though. I won, but she got a piece of my ear. And I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
she
god,
did get a
what?
piece of my ear in that. But I did win.
Now
That
you're like
was
a
true.
peace love and like.
I know. I don't want to use violence if I don't have to. But if I have to.
Fair enough. Yeah. I have never been in a physical altercation.
Neither have I.
I've
Really?
always been able to talk my way out of shit. I mean, like playground fights, but as a dude, you are constantly have to be aware that there's other dudes who do want to fight and are looking
Yeah.
to fight.
I mean, women are the same way, though. Like, there's women out there that are, like, constantly looking for somebody to fight. Like, but it's not as frequent as men. I'd say.
No. So I think, plus, I always talked my way into trouble, but I could also talk my way out
But-
of trouble.
Were you also, because we're both from New England, like, for me, like, there weren't a lot of physical altercations at my school just because, like, it was not tolerated, because I grew up in a small town up north, so they were just kind of like, you will not do that.
It was somewhat similar. I mean, people still fought. Like, we had this thing in the morning called snack break. We only had 4 classes a day.
A lot of schools are like that.
Yeah, and we would have, after our first class, we would have snack break, and it was like 10 minutes.
How old were you?
I was, like, maybe, I mean, this is like early high school, 14 or 15.
And they still called it snack break?
Yeah, they called it snack break, yeah.
That's hilarious.
But they took away snack break. You just had to go straight to your class because people were getting in fights. It was always...
You guys were all cold and angry up in Maine.
I know.
Yeah.
Couldn't do shit up their butt fight.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say they were just bored, so they started hitting each other.
Just got bored.
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing, like, the town that I'm from, there's really nothing there. You know, it's like a nice place.
Yeah.
But you have Main Street, but everything closes down at 9 o'clock, sometimes
England
earlier.
horrorcore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
People think the same thing about the Cape. Like, if you go down to Cape Cod in the middle of winter, it is not like ice cream cones and clam rolls.
It's
It is
dead.
like heroin and like alcoholics
Oh,
following
God.
the
Yeah.
street. Like,
Well,
it's not a joke. Like, if people spend millions of dollars down there to vacation in the summer, like $1 million vacation homes, beautiful beaches. You go
I
down
believe
there
it.
in the winter, and it is like different world.
I believe it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it gets so cold, and it's like not the mountains, but like it's the ocean, and it's like really desolate down there. So it's really hard to get in and out. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the town I'm from too, it was really a pretty big culture clash because it was a military town. Base had closed down though.
Wow, that must have been really interesting.
Yeah, so, and then there was basically, Bowdoin College is where I'm from, which is like a fancy New England school.
Bowdoin's a really, really nice school. That's like a bougie school. They ain't giving out academic scholarships. You gotta have the money to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
So there was a bunch of people that I knew whose parents worked there, and then there was a bunch of people that I knew whose dads worked at Bath Iron Works, which is like a union New England job.
This is like could be so.
I
different.
know.
That is wild.
I know.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting growing up in that, just because there was definitely like a class divide a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so fucking glad I left New England. I'm
Yeah.
glad I left Maine. Honestly, fuck Maine. I've been back once since I've left, and I really have no desire to go back at all.
I believe it.
I love New England.
I know you do.
I love where I'm from. I've been down in Nashville 8 years, and I still tell people I'm from Boston
Yeah.
to this day.
I mean, well, that is where you're from, though. You
It
know?
is, and I have really strong roots in the Italian American community up there. So like, I
Clock
feel
it.
like,
She brought it up.
Why were you guys taking it? How much money was he betting
Catch
on it,
that.
Danny? How much money he was like? I bet you should.
How long did it take for Giuliana to bring up she was Italian?
27 minutes.
That's longer.
That's actually a
that's
long
a
time.
record. Usually, Tommy and Gabe joke around our bandmates. They're like, "Hi, my name's Giuliana. I'm Italian. It's nice
Yeah.
to meet you." Like
Yeah.
usually, that's
100%.
like the way it rolls.
They even got her an Italian flag for her birthday.
I know. Yeah. Well, we did a vocal lesson.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and when I sat down on the couch, I looked up and I saw it, and I started laughing. And she was like, "I was waiting for you to notice that."
Oh yeah. I mean, like the last time I was on this podcast was like way back.
Yeah.
And we talked about that for a good long bit.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Hey, you know what? I love the Italians.
You know I'm part Irish.
No, I did not
My
know
mother's
that.
maiden name is Johnson.
Really?
Yes, I'm a quarter Irish.
So you're like fucking Ray Liotta in, or not? Yeah, Ray Liotta in Goodfellas. He was part Irish.
I'm
Oh,
actually a quarter
wow,
Greek as
true.
well. I'm a quarter Greek, a quarter Irish, and half Italian. But don't tell anybody.
You heard it here. Giuliana is not just Italian.
Oh.
Don't tell people that. Don't. What that?
I'm gonna start telling people that you're not actually Italian. It's all an act.
So Rose did the 23andMe. No,
I did
your
the
cousin, right?
ancestry. Yeah.
The DNA swab,
Mhm.
and she's like really Persian. Like, what's your percentage?
I'm like 87% Iranian Persian, and then the rest is like Indian, Pakistani, like some Arab, and like that's pretty much it. Like the rest is like a majority of it is Iranian descent.
Mhm.
And she's like me with her Persian culture, like I am with my Italian culture, like very rooted in that, and like you can speak to that. I don't want to like take your spotlight, but my point of bringing that up is I am way too afraid to take one of those tests because if it comes back that I'm like,
You're 14%.
No,
Italian.
I will actually have a mental breakdown. Like I don't think you understand. Like I will go insane. Like I'm like tearing up talking about this. Like I will be like, oh my god, my identity's gone. Which is a joke, because like Italian American culture is more of like a by nurture thing, anyways. Like it's a community, even if it's not an ethnicity. Like, but I was like, I think I'll actually have a full identity crisis, mental breakdown if that happens. So we're just gonna stay away from that.
I don't think that's gonna happen though. Like, I mean, you look Italian.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
I
Like,
don't know, girl. Crazier things have happened.
there's no way.
I don't want to take
I've
the risk.
actually never talked about this. I don't even know if Danny knows, but
Big secrets here today in the Poptimist.
yeah, I'm Lithuanian.
I actually didn't know that.
Did I talk to
Yes,
you about that?
you did. I do know
Yeah, so because My grandfather immigrated from Lithuania when he was like 5.
Wow.
Yeah, so third generation.
Third generation.
Nice.
Yeah, because I'm also third generation because my grandma's from Athens. My mom's from Athens.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, and her husband's an Irish. Well, her ex-husband, my mom's father's Irish American from Boston.
I would be first generation because my
Yeah,
parents came here in the 90s.
Oh
Are you-
shit,
you
that's
are-
cool
are
as
you-
fuck.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
first generation because your mom and your dad are both from Iran.
And they came here in the 90s, and then I was born.
But did they know that they always wanted to come to America?
It was, there was a lot going on in the 90s in Iran at the time. Like, I mean, the Persian Gulf War was going on, but
Yeah.
they were planning to come here anyway. Like, they had just gotten married. And so they ended up moving here to California in, like, 1991, and then had my sister. And then we moved to North Carolina. And then me and my brothers came along. So, yeah. I guess, I mean, I don't know. I don't think they ever, it was never really like a discussion that if they always wanted to move to America. I guess it just happened,
Yeah.
you know? So,
You were in Cali first, right?
yeah, well, no, my parents were in California first, and then I think we briefly stayed in California like some point during my childhood. I don't remember. But, yeah, predominantly North Carolina, though.
We're at North Carolina.
A place called Anger, North Carolina, I grew up in. It's like an hour outside of Raleigh, and then I moved to Clayton, which is like 30 minutes outside Raleigh. It's very country, very bumpkin ass like kind of town. So
Yeah.
nothing to write home about, even though technically that's my home. So
Before I moved to Nashville, I lived for a summer in North Carolina.
really, what
Where?
part?
Right outside of Wilmington in a similar kind of town called Burgaw.
Oh, Burgaw. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you living in North Carolina?
That's where my dad was living at
You
the
have
time.
so many side quests, Taylor, I swear.
Yeah, I honestly do.
You
Yeah,
are like side quest king.
I've lived in 5 states in 5 years.
That's
Wow.
insane. How long have you been in Nashville, though?
I've been here for coming up on 9 years
Yeah,
now.
you were 1 year prior to me because the reason I met you is because you were Connor's Uber driver.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
Oh
for
shit.
those of you who don't know, which you obviously don't, because why would you know our friendship history? My ex, who great guy, he met Taylor because he was his Uber driver.
At like 5 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were in a crazy story. Connor talks about it openly. You were taking him to his court date, I think, or something
I
like
think
that.
I was taking him to his car
Car.
so he could drive to
his court date, yeah. And so you ended up having him on the podcast and talking about
Yeah.
his projects, and then I met you through Connor, and then we became friends because obviously like New England,
Yeah.
and then like we rekindled a few years ago and like really became good friends, and since then, but yeah, that's so I was like,
Wow.
we're talking about it, and you're like, I'm here this many, and I'm like, I've been here this many, and we figured it out like you moved here a year before I did because I'm going on 8, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucking love Nashville, dude.
Yeah.
I really can't imagine living anywhere else. I think about leaving sometimes, but I really don't want to. If I left, it would just be to go back to Colorado because I lived there for a year
Yeah.
and I really liked it. Colorado. Have you guys ever been to Colorado?
No.
Kristen's from Colorado, right?
Kristen's been to Colorado.
One of our really good friends, badass goth chick, who can shred guitar.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. She's funny. She's great. Love her. She's from Colorado.
Yeah. Or, well, she lived in Colorado
Yeah, lived
for
there.
a while.
Her dad's out there, right? And
I
her
think so.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool place. I lived right outside of Boulder, and I worked at this place called Wildwood Guitars.
That sounds fun.
It's like a famous guitar shop. They have like
Cool.
a bunch of custom shop shit, like high end shit.
Cool.
And
Kind of like Run.
what's that?
Like Run.
Yeah. And
GRUHN down on 8th. I'll show you.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, I get the look. Like if you saw it, you'd see. Yeah, but that was my.
yeah, so it's kind of similar to that or Carter's or any of those places around town, but yeah, I lived there and I just got really, really high for a year.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I was
Tough.
20 years
Oh.
old. I was very introverted and scared of everything, but it probably had to do with the amount of weed that I was smoking. I got my medical marijuana card when I was there.
Nice.
It was kind of cool.
That is
I believe it, yeah.
I don't like weed. It makes me shake and quiet. It's weird. People keep asking me what's wrong because I'm never quiet. When I smoke, if I ever smoked, I don't actually smoke at all. It's been years, but like if I like when I used to like in college, I would be like really weird and like really quiet. And be like, are you okay? Are you okay? And it would just stress me out more. So I just like probably 5 years ago just like completely stopped.
Yeah. I do it every now and again. Like, if it's there, it's there.
Your personality lends to it though. Like you get more chill. Like you don't get anxious like that. Like
Yeah.
you vibe. I do not vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's different for everybody though.
Yeah, I don't vibe anymore.
You stopped, huh?
Yeah, I stopped because I fucking smoked weed that was laced with cocaine and I
Oh.
almost died. So
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, this was like New Year's Eve, or not New Year's Eve. It was like the no man's land the week before New Year's, and like in between Christmas and New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
And I had smoked weed, and it was laced with cocaine, and I was passing out and puking, and my heart and lungs were just pulsating.
That sounds absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
It was
that
horrible.
sounds
So I
terrifying.
really can't enjoy being high anymore. I've gotten high a couple of times since. If I can get, like, if the people I'm around, they take me out of my fucking head, because I very much, like, when I get stoned, I just go into my head.
That's how I used to be when I was in
Yeah.
college.
Plus, I'm already like that a little bit naturally, just very, like, I wouldn't say I'm an introvert at all, but I get very, like, introspective. It's not good for me to spend a lot of the time.
No, you're a
alone.
thinker. Like you don't take anything at face value. Like you're constantly like thinking about things. And
Yeah.
You're, like not about it. Like you're,
No,
you're kind
no.
of like an academic, like a rebellious academic. Like you said, you didn't like school, but I feel like you'd like to know why, and you're educated in your own library of that. So.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. I just, even now, like, if I'm alone, I'm really not doing anything. Like, I'm just kind of sitting and thinking for the most part. Maybe I'll write some stuff
Can
down.
you do that?
What, me?
Or
Like,
just be at peace.
yeah, pretty much. Like,
I
I can
don't-
just turn myself off.
What's
I
that
wouldn't
like?
necessarily
It's so
say.
nice.
Good God, what is that like? I would fucking love to know.
I'm
'Cause
just like, whoop, whoop, and that's
No, man.
we're good to go.
I lay down and it's like,
I ain't
pew,
thinking
pew,
about
pew,
shit.
pew, pew, pew. Like I'm like constantly moving at 100 miles an hour. Dude.
No, I think I just have to I give myself routine and structure because I have to have routine and structure. Like, it's just the type of, like, mindset that I have. So, like, when I get everything done that I need to for the day, as long as I got everything completed on my list of shit to do, then, like, I can just, like, turn off and not, I can disassociate.
My list
very
is never
easy.
ending. Like I can't do that. Like I'm trying. This year has been my year of like trying to like not do that. But like I tell people that like I white knuckle my way through life. Like we are constantly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
No, I've actually been better about it though this year. But like still like my ADHD is just like you're smirking.
You have ADHD?
Oh yeah, we got the confirmation, baby. No one needed it, but we all knew. But yeah, like a capital H on that, friends. Good time, but just it's exhausting in its own way.
Yeah, I just feel like for me, I do a lot of pacing as well when I'm alone. Just like
Do
walking.
you fold your hands when you pace? Like, do you like evil, like villain, like pace, like with your?
I don't know. I don't
like,
have enough
Danny,
self-awareness.
does he pace with his head down and like cross his fingers like an evil villain?
No, I can't say that he does that in particular.
That's what I imagine.
You should
used to
start doing that.
Yeah.
do. Should just be like this or like.
Make a trend.
Honestly, I would be a great fucking villain.
You would be amazing. What would your name be?
I don't know. I mean, I just, I feel like I sit and I ponder and I plot. And then I
You
try and
like a cat.
execute whatever I'm doing. I love cats.
I know you do. You're a cat person. You and
Yeah.
the moons. You and the moons, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You love cats too, though. And
Oh,
your,
I
your
know.
cat's kind of like Cleo's a bad bitch. Like I love her.
She
cat.
is. She's a
good
sassy
cat.
little fuck, but I love her. She's something else.
You'd be a good supervillain too.
I know, yeah.
You got supervillain energy.
You
We
think
could put
so?
together a team,
Oh,
honestly.
You guys
we
would
could.
be really
Sorry.
good.
We would be like the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You're
could see
more of a
that.
Robin Hood though, because you have a good head on you, and you care about the people who aren't being taken care of.
Oh.
So I feel like you'd be more of like a
Shucks.
Robin Hood, Robin Hood. You'd be like, yeah, I'm like not like 100% playing by the rules, but like it's for the greater good. Type
Yeah,
thing.
that's
so she's
pretty
more
much
of a
it.
romantic hero.
Absolutely. Anti-hero.
I could see that.
What-
Well,
what am
romantic
I?
hero is different from anti-hero.
Give me the
So romantic hero would be, like, I'm trying to think of a good, good example from like a movie that is a good romantic hero.
Aladdin.
I mean, maybe, but like an anti-hero or a romantic hero is more flawed. Danny, can you Google some
Yeah, I'm
romantic
actually doing
heroes?
that. So, Edward Rochester and Jane Eyre.
Yeah, it's something
James
from the
Bond,
70s.
kind of.
James Bond, yeah, he's a romantic hero.
I could see that.
Well, 'cause he's,
Mark
like, flawed.
Anthony.
Yeah,
Mark Anthony's probably the most famous of like history.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Like you're more of like a romantic hero. Like, but like you're not like you.
I'm
do
like
things
James
weird.
Bond.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You've got suave energy for sure.
Thank you.
She's got charisma
I
like
do
the
what I
ass.
can. and I can
Gatsby's
what I
kind
do.
of.
Gatsby's a really good example.
Yeah, he's like a great example of a romantic hero. And then anti-hero is like
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know though, girl. That might be more your alley.
Deadpool's crazy. He's like doing crazy shit. I mean, well, what the crazy shit that happens to me is not intentional.
Others-
Deadpool intentionally wants this shit to happen to him.
I don't think so.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm a huge Marvel nerd.
Yeah, but I feel like his personality, he's just very like looking for trouble. But like
That's
if
true
he
because he's like, I
runs
have no
into
fucks to give. More
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like
Yeah.
fuck it all. Yeah.
A
So,
list of.
I'm a little more cautious.
A list of anti-heroes would be Walter White,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Han
course.
Solo,
Tony Soprano.
Snake,
Yeah.
Tony Soprano, Batman, Dexter Morgan, Jack Sparrow.
Wait, Dexter, like from Dexter? Have you ever
Yeah.
seen the show?
Correct. Don Draper.
So good.
Okay,
you love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love
Those are good examples.
Am I an anti-hero?
No, you're not. You're not an anti-hero.
What's my trope?
If you were in Harry Potter, your house would be Gryffindor.
Lucky.
What are you?
Slytherin, 100%.
Are you Ravenclaw?
No, I would be Gryffindor too.
Well, I feel outnumbered.
We can still be friends.
I don't know. I'm kind of like a
I don't know
sassy
about all
biatch though. Like I don't like because when I did musical theater, I did that for 12 years. My director, who is literally like Voldemort, like to give you your Harry Potter reference, like he shall not be speak to you. Dude needs to go see a professional. Like he always told me, you'll never be the ingenue, which is like the typical like female lead.
Please. I'm
So-
sorry. I just hate when he sounds like one of those people that use words like big words or unusual words just to sound more colorful, and like that shit makes me cringe.
What to be like? Oh, this is my lexicon. It's
You'll
my
never
vocabulary."
be
It's
the
like, shut up your tool
ingenue.
bag. Like no one cares.
Fuck off.
Yeah,
Like-
no, he was a piece of shit. But like
Anyways.
I feel like I'm too sassy and I'm too much of like a energy and a force to be like I guess I kind of like Han Solo is probably so it's more of like that romantic hero, right? He's a romantic hero or an anti-hero?
I think he was on the anti-hero list.
Well, because he was
Yeah.
technically a smuggler.
Yeah, but I think Han Solo is more of a romantic
I
hero.
agree with that because he has good intentions. He just does
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Danny would be Slytherin for sure.
Really? You think that?
I think so.
I don't-
Or Ravenclaw.
I'm gonna say, Danny, you seem like a pretty smart guy. Like I feel, and I know from all I know about you, like business owner though, like that's Ravenclaw. energy.
Danny's the smartest person I know.
I'm just saying Ravenclaw because you're wearing a blue shirt, so like it just makes
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Why Slytherin though? You think I'm?
Not that it's not saying that you're bad or anything like that. I just think Slytherins are very tactile.
Yeah.
You're like pretty much a pure blood person, so I
I
guess you
know,
are
I'm-
Slytherin.
I'm just by default Slytherin. Like I can't even appeal this or anything.
There were good Slytherins though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fucking Snape. He was the ultimate Slytherin.
Yeah.
He was a hero all along.
He's Darth Vader. We're not getting back into Star Wars. I just watched Star Wars. Like I'm on like a tear. So, but I mean like our band has like a lot of personalities. I feel
Yeah.
like and
Tommy
I
would be Gryffindor.
Tommy
You
is
think
a
Tommy would be
Hufflepuff.
Gryffindor?
I
Tommy
think so.
is a Hufflepuff.
I was gonna say Tommy would be Slytherin.
Oh damn.
Gabe is
would be Gryffindor.
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw,
He's so smart.
but he's also brave.
He's so
You can
smart.
take
Okay,
that
well,
test. There's a
Gryffindors are
test.
smart
There's
too.
a test.
What?
Yeah, there's a test. I'm
I
pretty
There
took
is, yeah, it's
mine.
Pottermore.
Mine was
Yeah,
Slytherin.
yeah.
Mine was Slytherin.
I think Hunter is definitely Ravenclaw. He's so
Definitely
calculated.
Ravenclaw. Yes,
I don't know,
agree with
Gabe.
that.
Like Gabe, to me, like there's a side of him that people actually right. He is a Gryffindor though, because he's so friendly.
I feel like he's so brave.
He
too.
is so brave.
Like
yeah.
he's like a kindred soul.
One time he almost like assaulted an Uber driver.
And I remember you telling me that.
Because of me. We were coming out of I was singing at an emo night and I was a little bit intoxicated, but like I wasn't like doing anything wrong. Like there's 5 people there. I swear to God, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Witnesses, but this guy, like we called an Uber, and this guy pulled up in like an unmarked van and was like, "I can give you a ride," and I was like, "That's kind of creepy. Like no way." Like I literally said it. I was like, "That's kind of creepy. No thanks." And the guy goes, "All right, bitch." And Gabe was a little bit too drunk, and he was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And like immediately beelined around things, started knocking on his window. The guy was like, "Oh my God." And so that's probably a good example of it. He was like, he's very much like a snap to action.
What part of town were you in?
Literally Midtown. It's outside the Virgin Hotel.
Well, I know there's a lot of people that try to stay off the app, like they'll be on it, but they'll be like, "Hey, do you need a ride?"
It's still creepy.
Yeah, it's creepy as fuck.
Very fucking creepy.
I had people that paid me flat out cash sometimes just to drive them. I had a Navy SEAL one time do that.
That's cool.
He gave me a couple $100, and I was just his driver while he was here.
Nice.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Did he talk a lot? Probably not.
He talked a little bit. It was mainly his wife was with him, and she was really interesting. She was like a psychologist, and her specialty was trauma and working with veterans.
I wonder how they met.
Yeah.
Sounds kosher.
Yeah, well, a lot of the Navy SEALs, they end up marrying therapists.
Makes
That
sense.
sounds so abusive.
Well, it's so sad.
That's so bad. Like that, you can't. Oh my
Well,
God.
it's sad. I don't think it's abusive. I think it's sad.
Not
'Cause it's
abusive. Like abuse. Like it sounds like a strenuous relationship. I guess.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, if you're a therapist in a relationship with somebody who needs therapy, then you are already equipped to know what to do with them if they need.
That's true, but it's also the Tony Soprano, Dr. Melfi situation.
Well,
where-
Tony Soprano was already fucked up, like in the head. There
Yeah,
was like
but
so much.
But he was like in love with Dr. Melfi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
know.
they never-
But they.
Nothing ever happened between them.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's still that kind of vibe. Like, if they were actually to date, that would be a mess, because, like, she's a professional. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Sopranos is fucking good,
Oh, I
dude.
love this.
I haven't finished it.
I haven't finished it either. I'm still watching
It stressed
it.
me out really, really bad.
Why is it stressing you
I
out?
did the fifth. Let's just keep moving on.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
No, it was just like a lot of violence, and I didn't like it.
There is a lot of shit going on in The Sopranos.
It's real too, like personalities. Like I grew up with personalities like that.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
no, I'm not saying anyone who's like in any sort of situation like that, but like just those strong personalities, and like it has a strong sense of identity because like they were very authentic with the casting. So it's just kind of hard to see people that reminded you of people you knew do things like that. Like it's just, I hate to use the word triggering, but it's like I was kind of like, whoa, like this is like hitting a little bit too close to home with like like the culture and everything. It's just a lot for me. So
Yeah.
but it's really good.
It is really fucking good.
It is
I
really
love
good.
it.
Talks a lot about movies.
Yeah, I
and
know.
TV.
Talk to me about your new single.
What do you want to know?
Yeah.
How did you compose it? How did it come into existence?
So we are coming off of our freshman EP, which is "Girls Are Scary," and those were mostly, except for the outlier of one track, written predominantly by myself, and then brought to the group, and the boys kind of, because Rose wasn't in the group at that point, made them what they are today, arranged them and added, and we added bridges and stuff into those. And so Redo was the first track that we sat down and we wrote together as the Super Five, because we had Rose and we had Hunter, because the original core three of Vern is myself, Thomas Marshall, Gabe Sanchez. Then we met Hunter Curry, and then we met Rose Savage.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the group, and so we have a really good friend of ours who runs a production company called Damp Girl Productions, and she was shooting a short film, and she needed a piece for her score. So we decided to write a song, and the song is called Redo. And it is basically the whole idea that you are seeing somebody and they are more than a friend, but they are not more than a friend, if that makes sense.
A situationship.
A situationship.
Yeah.
And it's kind of talking about that line of like, I'm not going to go all the way back through that emotional like bout just to have you screw with me again, because it's such a delicate situation just to end up back where you were. So that was the theme we were writing on. And, they worked together to make these really sick instrumentals. It's a really, really upbeat, like, really fun track. It was kind of a.
But also powerful.
It's powerful, yeah. It's catchy. It's really
Powerful.
catchy. But it was the first thing we wrote as a group. Like, I would say I wrote a good amount of the lyrics, and Tommy, and then you and Gabe worked on verses. Like tweaks on verses. Because I feel like y'all come up with the music, I come up with the skeleton, and then we kind of plug and play with each other. So it was the first track we wrote together. And I'm very excited. It was kind of a Frankenstein track. We worked with a whole bunch of different people on it.
Yeah.
But eventually ended up coming back to our main guy, Jose Del Rio, who does most of our production, if he's available. He's amazing. And then we had it mastered by Chris Cremett, and his work's awesome. So just like really all-star team. And actually my roommate ended up cutting vocals. Her name's Brooke Thompson. She goes by Zamali. She's a local artist here as well, and she ended up recording all the vocals for that. And we did some pre-production and some like demo laying down with a guy named Mateus Amato. So it was like a whole group of people. Definitely a different approach to what we've done in the past.
Do you track live or do you do overdubs?
We do like musical instrument by musical instrument, but all of our drums are tracked in a like full room. And I do not like to not sing through my verses, so I try to comp my vocals as little as possible. It's actually a reel we put out the other day of the single, and you can see it. We were singing it live, and I dubbed the track over it, and you can't really super tell, and that's not trying to say any other thing than we really try to keep it authentic to what we can do live, if that makes sense. We don't want you to come to a Vernon show and be like, this is a completely different band, which some bands do, and I think that's cool. You have two different experiences, but with what we're doing, it's kind of simple by design, so why would we not execute it the same way in person that you do on the record, you know?
Yeah, I think I've never really actually, whenever I'm like working with other people, my preference is to always do everything like live in the room.
Sure.
And get as much of it as you can. When I'm recording just on my own at my house for like the shit that I release, it's
your solo stuff.
Yeah, it's just me doing one piece at a time. But when actually working with other people, I've never really tried the overdub way. I'd like to give it a shot sometime, but I've always just been, I want to be, especially as a bass player, I want to be in the room, the drummer playing at the same time.
Well, I think for us, like, we do everything as a unit, but there are certain, and Jose taught me a lot of this, and I can't wait for you to get in the room with him, because Rose wasn't down there when we recorded Girls Are Scary, which was our original EP, and we went down to Pensacola for a week and recorded all 5 tracks on our freshman EP with him. Everyone was there for each part, but Jose is a genius, and he's gonna kill me for saying that, but he likes to focus on individual instruments as their own orchestral piece. So it wasn't like we were trying to nip and tuck. It was like, this guitar part has this energy. Let's try to get this tone out of it.
That's how Queen did it.
And it's almost meticulous, but it's meticulous in order to let the instrument and the instrumentalist breathe. Gabe is one of our like most silent members in Vern, and he has so many nuances in that EP that would not be there unless Jose took the time to sit down with him and really get him to work it out of the instrument. Because he's thinking in like, his brain works in dissonance is like the best way I could say it. We say something and he says, what about this? And sometimes it sticks and sometimes it doesn't, but like, he's a nuanced dude, you know? And I think like, that's why we record that way, because we started with Jose who did that, and we kind of ran with it. And I found an appreciation for instrumentalists from that, because like, I'm a vocalist primarily, and I always tell people I'm a performer first and I'm a vocalist second. I perform.
An Italian American third.
Yeah. Baby, that's the whole universe. Can't forget that. No, but like, these guys are musicians. Like, they're musicians. So it's a learning experience for me, and I think now that's the way I prefer to do it, because of what I was shown about these instruments and instrumentalists. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, doing it that way, it's more so having the luxury of time.
Yeah, we would have to all take off a week off of work to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to do that though, like.
Oh yeah, I'm down to do that anytime.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like every session that I've been a part of, it's always, we have to get this done today, or else it's not gonna.
I won't work like that.
Yeah.
I will not work like that. You will not get a good product.
Really?
Listen,
I think that's
Taylor, as much as I'm a spaz, listen, I'm a spaz in a lot of things. I'm type A, I'm weird, I'm an enigma, right? Rock musician, total type A freakazoid, okay? Like, self-proclaimed. You cannot rush that process in the room. You cannot put pressure on people. We've tried to hit deadlines that weren't appropriate, and it's gone to shit. You cannot, you will not, unless you're trying to make a stressful track, you're not gonna get what you need. In my opinion, especially with a group, like Vern is a band. I don't make decisions for the band. I'm the front woman, but I don't make decisions for the band like that. Like, it is comprehensive. So if you have a stressful situation where, like, you have to get this done today, like, you're setting yourself up for failure, man.
It is true. I like to take my time tracking.
Yeah. I guess it just comes down to personal preference, because I like being under the gun. I do my best work. I can't overthink anything.
I like being under the gun live.
Yeah, live, I could do that.
I like being
Over
under the
and
gun live. Like, that for me, that's that's an energy thing again, right? That's not me putting pressure on my bandmates or each other. It's, there's
The spontaneity of the moment.
There's people there, like
Yeah.
that's an adrenaline rush for me. It's different. I'm pulling from the crowd. I'm pulling that energy from the crowd rather than pushing it out of my body onto others. It's an absorption rather than a projection, and that's a difference for me in being under the gun in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I just like the psychotic pressure cooker nature of it. I want to be in every situation. I want it to be bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
You must love the Beach Boys.
I do love the Beach Boys, but the way Brian Wilson did everything was more similar to the way you're describing.
I'm not talking about Brian Wilson. I'm talking about Wilson.
Oh yeah.
That was a joke, mostly.
Yeah, no,
But-
I think honestly, Phil Spector is one of my biggest influences.
He's a psycho.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
but he's good. I mean, he's like one of the greatest producers of all time.
So guys, if you're gonna record with Taylor, you're gonna get the Phil Spector experience.
Yeah.
I'm
Honestly,
totally kidding,
yeah.
I'm totally
I mean,
kidding.
For $12 a month.
Yeah, for $12, sign your life away.
hey, you know what? If you want a good product, sometimes it comes under turmoil and stress.
I do agree with that, because all of our songs are have been written from a place of distress. But going back to what you said, I don't ruminate on things, I reflect. Our songs are all about reflection, but they all come from a dark place, most
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah, I think in the creative process, pressure is good and stress is good because it enables you to think more creatively. But if it's something like tracking, I prefer not to be stressed because I'll lose my fucking shit.
Well, you have to be on time.
So,
You're the
yeah.
bassist.
Have to follow the drums.
Yeah, and I feel like that's your hands, your body does physical reactions sometimes, which can add to the track. I think I would love to have the luxury one day to record with analog equipment, because I think that the nuances that some of this stuff, in my personal life, I love 70s Southern rock. The band is my favorite band of all time, and I think that the reason that some of that music is so part of the human experience is because of the nuances and mistakes that were made that ended up being in the soundscape of that mix.
Yeah.
So sometimes the visceral reaction from the body under stress or whatever can add, but when you're
makes
doing
sense.
drums or bass, you can speak to that more than me.
I mean, lots of songs do that. If you think about, Good Riddance by Green Day, in the beginning, he's playing
He fucks it
and
up.
he's just fuck. And he left it there because it added to
We have
the
a tag
nuance.
like that in radio. You can
Mhm.
hear my roommate, she's one of my dear friends. She's not just a roommate, she's like a sister. But you can hear her, she's like, all right, and you hear the click, and then we have it almost sounds like it's through a radio compression.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fun.
I like little shit like that. Have you heard any of the new Green Day?
No, not any of the new Green Day, but they're coming out here in August.
Yeah, I want to go
With
see them.
Smashing
I do
Pumpkins.
too. I think we're getting a
Dude,
group together. You want to come with us?
Yeah,
I think
I'm
me,
100.
Tommy,
Let's
Lindsay.
go.
I'm 100%
Greg.
down.
Let's
Yeah, you
go.
should come.
Yeah, I saw
Dan, you
Green
want to
Day.
come?
Sure, Green Day's the best.
Honestly,
concert I've ever
Danny, it
seen.
would be
But
fun as fuck.
also-
We should.
Yeah,
for
and
real,
Smashing Pumpkins
Smashing
and Rancid.
Pumpkin, Rances, and I think the
Rancid
Linda
too.
Lindas are playing too.
Mhm.
So
They
it'll be
are.
fun.
So-
I
It's a
saw
really good lineup.
Green Day in maybe 2008 or 2009 at TD Garden
That
in
must have
Boston.
been awesome.
It was awesome. It was great. I mean, they were Green Day was the reason that I got into playing bass.
Really?
Yeah, I think that would be surprising to a lot of people to
Well,
find.
Mike Dern did all that for you.
Yeah,
but-
he did. He's a great fucking bass player.
I was genuinely asking.
Like when you said it, you're like, wow.
I really wanted. I was
So-
impressed.
That was awesome.
My friend growing up, we were 13 at the time when American Idiot came out, and he was playing guitar, and I was like, oh, nice, I want to play guitar too. He's like, you can't play guitar. He's like, I already play guitar, and so we can't have two guitar players in a band.
I mean, he's not wrong, but like also, what the hell?
That's gatekeepy as fuck.
But, well, he was like, you have to play bass, and I was like, okay, I'll play bass.
You have to play
You have
bass.
to.
And
Well,
that's
there's no
that's how
choice.
straight up how I became a bass player.
Wow. That's
You were
was-
under the gun. You were
That-
under the gun.
That exact moment, I mean, it set everything into motion for me.
Mhm.
No one else that I grew up with really plays music now. There's a few people, but for like the most
Yeah.
part, like I think the fact that I was able to move to Nashville as a bass player really, it was helpful, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because everybody's always
You
looking
always
for-
need a bass
Yeah.
player.
There's a big demand for bassists.
I play
down
bass
here.
now, kind of.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you told me a little bit
Rose
about
is
that.
teaching me. a
That's
little
cool.
bit. That's like I said earlier. Like I'm predominantly a vocalist, and like people sometimes don't realize that like when your instrument is your voice and that's your primary, sometimes you do feel a little bit insecure around people who are instrumentalists because y'all can pick up anything and play with anybody. Like that's not really the case for all singers. So I don't know a lot of theory, and I always had a lot of insecurity around playing an instrument. So bass was the first instrument that's actually really come easily to me. I play enough guitar to get by, but Rose has taught me some stuff, and it's helped my writing, and I love bass. So it's like really, really fun.
Yeah.
That's the only place where my mind goes blank.
Yeah, well, I was also gonna say, like, I think I found this post a while back, but Ray Manzarek said that about Jim Morrison. Was just like, even though he couldn't play a single instrument, like he had an orchestra in his
You
head.
posted that the other day. I was like, that makes me
And
feel
I was like,
better.
it's such a powerful thing because I'm just like, Jim Morrison was like an incredible poet
Yeah.
and an incredible writer in general. I could not play an instrument to save his life. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, it doesn't like you got to find your talent and then pull from that. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what you can't do. Worry about what you can't do. But you can play bass.
That's what
so,
I'm saying,
like,
but I was
you're
gonna say,
reaching
I
out,
think
you're
I was
branching out.
like thinking about it in that way, and I flipped it and kind of was like, well, I can do this kind of in a way, and
Yeah.
it's been a good learning experience to get out of that headspace and actually pick up an instrument and be like, I can actually work this, like I can make this make noise in a way that doesn't sound terrible.
But you can also like think of it like, oh, well, I can play one more instrument than Jim Morrison can. So like that should make
So
anybody
basically,
feel better.
Vern is better than
Yeah,
them.
we're
So
better
than
whatever.
the Doors.
Of course,
Vern is
yeah.
better. You heard it here, folks.
I like just totally
Vern
blanked. I
is
was like,
better
better
than
than
the
them. Like what? It totally just like cyborged out there for a minute. But yeah, break on through to the other side, baby.
I know.
Do you guys have any shows coming up?
The 9th.
Okay, where are you playing at?
Actually, we have the 9th we're playing. We have 2 shows in Nashville. They'll be the only shows in Nashville we have for probably the remainder of the year. Yeah, we're really trying to get on the road. We have a couple out of state stuff in the works, but February 9th, Friday, February 9th, we're playing at the East Room with Joy Bomb and Massey 99, and then we have a show that is going to be announced this Tuesday. Will the podcast be out later than that?
Yeah,
When does it come out?
Podcast comes out tomorrow.
Okay,
Nice.
okay, great. So we have a show on April 3rd, and that will be with a
Goalkeeper?
we can't say it. Danny, can you redact that?
We can edit it.
Yeah, 'cause we
you're good.
can't-
I thought you were
No,
like
no, 'cause I was like,
struggling
great.
to figure
No,
out
I was like,
who.
great. I was like, cool. So like,
Okay, start that over. You
Yeah.
have a show on April 3rd.
we have a show on April 3rd. That's going to be announced by the band that we're playing with. Very excited to play with them. They have not gone live with it yet. So just kind of keep posted on Vern Instagram for that drop because we're really excited. It's a big show for us. The folks that we're playing with are doing great stuff in the pop punk community, and we're feeling really lucky and blessed to have friendships with these guys and that they want to, kind of give us an opportunity to play with them again because they're a lot of fun. So we don't want to steal their thunder, but that's coming out, yeah.
Hell yeah. Where can people find you at?
Right here.
Yeah, come to this
This
house.
spot right here.
It's Vern Music. We're Vern with a 3 not an E, so it's V3RN Music. That's our Instagram, our TikTok. And then on Spotify and Apple, just type in V3RN and you can find us. We come up right as the first search.
Yep, you'll see our beautiful
I have
faces.
taken strangers' phones to check the SEO on it, and it's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been like, they're like, I'm in a band. I'm like, cool, let me see your Spotify. I'll add you right now.
I know. First one.
First one,
result.
yeah, V3RN, Vern with a 3, not
It's
with an E. Maybe someday you'll know the story, but that's like top secret. So.
February 16th, I have a show at the East Room with TH3. You probably never got to see me play with TH3.
No, is that one of your OGs from like when you first
Yeah,
started here?
so that was honestly it's the first band that I really played in Nashville with James Varner from Violent Moons and Year of October and various other projects,
Yeah.
and
I just saw him last night.
Teo Holden.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, we had played together, just kind of on and off through the years. But we're playing at Springwater, which is the place that I've played at probably most in Nashville.
Maybe I'll come to that.
I've never played at Springwater.
I have a lot of Giuliana doesn't like to play at Springwater.
You have a
She
beef with
hates it.
Springwater?
Giuliana doesn't like to throw up in the parking lot because it smells like petrol. That's why.
I love
Which is a
Springwater.
fair point.
It's such a cool venue. It just every time I play there, I get violently ill.
Really?
The gas smell there, it really gives me. I get sick.
I've never noticed it before.
You will.
I've
when
never
you-
been
when
in
you
there.
go.
So.
God, that's no hate to the Springwater though, because it's such an institution in Nashville.
Yeah.
But I've played there a few times. Really sad. I believe that the guy who just did their sound, who is a motherfucker, he's super talented. I think he just passed away.
Aw.
That's sad.
So it's really sad. Yeah, you know, he had like dreads. He was kind of like.
Yeah, he was a good sound guy.
He's probably one of the best sound guys that Nashville's had.
I honestly
He was really good.
agree with that.
Yeah, and that was the bummer about Springwater. Like the venue itself, just like the people in there are super nice. One time we didn't hit our cap, and they even like covered it. They're like, "Don't worry about it. Like it's all good. We just want to support artists." But
Aw.
their sound is good. Their stage is good. The venue, like the
Just smells
natural
like
gas, like it makes me sick. Yeah.
Oh shit.
That'll do it.
Jokes aside, I'll try to be there.
Hell yeah.
I'll just put some like Vicks on my nose. So
Just
I
put a
won't
face
smell.
mask on.
Okay, so the song, one more time, tell people about it.
Song's called Redo.
Redo.
Yeah.
That's
Redo.
all I wanted to say.
You want to say it again?
Just
Here you go,
redo.
Rose. Redo.
That's it.
Yeah,
Nothing
the song's
more.
called Redo. It's out on February 2nd, so this Friday. And stream it so I don't have to work in healthcare anymore and Rose can not work at a bank. That would be awesome.
I can put it at the end of this episode.
Yeah, you can put the pre-sale link, yeah, because it won't be live until Friday.
Okay, so I won't play the song in this episode.
Oh, yeah, absolutely play it. Absolutely play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tease it, play it, send it to your grandma in Albuquerque.
So this is
Send it to my
coming out before Friday, so I can play the full song.
Absolutely, run it. Absolutely
Okay.
run it. You know why?
So this is
People
a
want what they can't
Poptimist
have.
That's
debut.
true.
Yeah,
Instant
actually, this is
gratification.
an exclusive. This
Yeah.
is an exclusive.
Yep.
Let's make it a thing.
You've heard it here first.
We're dropping a whole bunch of singles this spring, so you know we have a music video coming out as well. I do want to
We
plug
do.
that. We kind of calling back to our freshman EP. We have a music video for Curling Iron, which is our probably thrashiest, most Green Day inspired track.
Yeah, it's so
It's
thrashy.
it's like chick Green Day, so it's kind of like Joan Jett and
yeah.
that type of vibe. It is a banger, and it's a song that we absolutely wanted to illustrate because it's so visual. The song is visual.
I love Curling Iron. That's probably my favorite song of ours, honestly.
Yeah, that was the song that grabbed you, I think.
Yeah,
When we-
it was the first song. When you sent me the track list, when I first became their bassist, she sent me the track list for the EP before it was ever released. And Curling Iron was the first song on there, and I remember listening to it, and I listened back to it again, and I was just like, I actually really like this song just to listen to casually. Like, I'm really part of the band that wrote this
Aw,
song.
that's
Like,
really
it's
cute.
fucking crazy. But, yeah.
It's nice when that happens.
Isn't it? I was
Yeah.
like, this, and it's crazy because I was like, this song is going to determine whether I'm going to go with this band or not. And I was like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, so we have a music
It was
video
just
coming out
that
for
good.
that, probably late March. We want to give Redo its time to like really shine before we push
culminate.
that out. But
To grow.
we have the music video done, and we filmed a lot of it ourselves, and we had a guy named Fluid down in Alabama edit it. We have a lot of people in Alabama.
I know.
Pensacola, I guess.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Sweet Home Alabama. Who edited it, and it is DIY, dirty, and awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, I can't wait to
It's
see it.
sweet, man.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Of
you for having
course.
us,
Thanks
dude.
for having us.
Of course.
Been
Keep on
awesome.
dreaming. See you next week.
Comes in, and then there's.
What am I missing? I'm sick of wishing I can't wait on a shooting star. So go, you new Tell me why.